Welcome, everybody, to our weekly Coach Babers Insider. And, Coach, it has been 4 weeks between Dome games. You come back, you remain unbeaten in the Carrier Dome with a win against North Carolina. How good does that feel to come off of that and stay right here for another big one against the Wolfpack?
Well, you know, it was a great game, obviously, and we're really excited that we came out on top. I was excited for the fans that stayed, but I'm really, really excited about the way the young men competed. I mean, the defense, to get us into overtime, the way they played in the fourth quarter, and then obviously, the way we won the game with guys that normally are not in the game, Iffy, Tommy coming in and playing the way they played really made the win satisfying.
Well, a lot of talk about the quarterbacks this week, and we can get into that in a second. But you don't win that game if the defense doesn't put out a fire after a late interception. If Carolina moves the ball much at all, they're already in field goal range.
They're right there. The defense has got to throw 9 pitches, and they got to be all strikes in the strike zone. And they did a fantastic job, even to the point where it made North Carolina want to have to throw the football. And then I believe that's where Iffy came up with some of his breakups to keep us in the game.
And quarterback-wise, I know you've got a decision to make come game time. You've probably made it, and you're working through the practice week. You can keep that to yourself if you choose, but I would ask, how does it impact the rest of the team and the practice week, knowing, look, you got a little spark, you've got 2 guys that can win you football games here?
You know, I think it's a blessing, I really do. And what we're always trying to do is develop the underbelly of the football team. And when you can get some of your backups that can play at moments like starters, that's always going to be a positive, not a negative. I don't see it as a distraction. As always, practice is the way practice always is. We always have those 2 young men working with the ones based off of our history of the stuff that's gone on in November. So I think that our offense is comfortable with whoever's behind the center.
You addressed freshmen as well. You look at Tommy DeVito, Ifeatu Melifonwu. These are guys who made an impact. You don't win that game without either of them.
No, it's really fun. Now, some of their development, what people don't realize is their development is based off of Eric working with Tommy and Frederick and Scoop working with Iffy. And that's what I love about our football family, is that they don't care who gets the credit as long as we get the W.
Sure. What's the healthier DB core this week, particularly related to an outstanding passing attack that comes in with NC State?
You know, I think we're a little banged up, but I think the guys will be ready to go. We've got to see what happens at the end of the week. If we had to play right now, it wouldn't be good. But they recover very quick. They're younger than us.
Sure. And isn't that a big part of it, too? You have this whole week, as it goes back to the quarterback thing and everything else, you can play that out over time leading up to Saturday.
You need to take your time and don't make any rush decisions.
Overall, with this team at 5-2, 1 win shy of bowl eligibility, is that one of the things you're managing here, is the long haul? Because even if you were to win this week, you've then got higher goals. There's more to it than just getting to 6.
I think you have to see that. We're going to play it 1 game at a time, but this entire spring, the fall, 2-a-days, even the way we change practice during the week is all geared for us to be better and not end up exactly the same that we have as the 2 teams before us.
Hey, well, you eclipsed the win total the previous 3 years already. Is there a freshness, though, right? I feel a little bounce in your step because you had that bye week, and then importantly to get a win, as you say, in the first game of the second half.
I think there is a freshness in the step. I thought we had one of our best practices, obviously, previously, and this week I think the young men have been doing a great job. We're excited to see what kind of effort we're going to put forth on Saturday.
Last thing, this is a pretty cool deal. This is a nationally televised game, Saturday night, prime time, big deal in the Dome. How important is that?
I think it's really important for the culture we're trying to develop, for the recruits that we're trying to bring in, and for our community, because once again it gives an opportunity for us to put Syracuse first, and we can show them exactly what kind of fan base we have here.
Sure, and this is one where you need the fans to be engaged as well, because they play a role, right, in creating that type of atmosphere that you're pretty much counting on in this situation.
We're going against one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, an NFL player, and the least amount of communication that they can have, the better for us. So let's see if we can get in that loud house and make it really hard for them to communicate.
Sure. Is there a tangible element to that? Have you ever sort of encouraged the fans to kind of notice the difficulty? There might be some signs that they could look for in terms of how they're trying to communicate and go into silent counts, which is difficult.
Which absolutely. And if one of the signs that our fans could look at is the minute the quarterback starts to do this and put his hand underneath the center, that's a very good opportunity to get really loud.
Okay. And then on the other side, hush it. You could even put up that, crew at work sign. We sometimes see that because when the Syracuse offense is going, you want it to be able to communicate in there.
Let's have it really quiet so we can hear the mouse.
All right. We'll see how that goes, particularly third down, always very important, and see if there can be that Carrier Dome buzz, as it should be there on Saturday night. Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck.
Thanks, Matt.
Orange head coach Dino Babers each week right here on our Babers Insider.